Hey, sister.
Hola.
How are you?
I'm fair. I'm
Yeah,
fair.
understand. I understand.
Mhm.
Me as well. Um, Not to be so somber to start the episode, but this is a due farewell to all of our girlfriends and guy friends out here, as this is our final episode. I know we promised y'all in the last episode that we'd be joined by our mysterious social media manager, Jale. But unfortunately, she had to work, and we love to get us a good check and a good coin.
Period.
So she will not be
Period.
joining us this evening, but we do want to just say, thank you to the entire Girlfriends team, all of you that listen each and every week, as we've been doing this for 5 years. And, we'll get to all this happy stuff later and how proud we are of each other and, just how much growth we've experienced over the years. But first, as always, we love to start with a revelation. And today I'll be sharing my last and final revelation, which I feel like is a good tie in to the end of a grand series finale for Girlfriends. So, as some of you may know, if you follow me on Instagram or if you follow me on social media, I recently impulsively bought a puppy. It wasn't really that impulsive because I did think about it for a while. I've been talking to E about it for a while. And it was something that I genuinely really wanted or thought I wanted. I do, however, have allergies. I'm allergic to pollen, I'm allergic to dust, I'm allergic to animals. But I thought that only was for the fur. So I was like, if I get a hypoallergenic dog, I should be okay. So I get my puppy named Dream last Sunday. And then yesterday, sadly, I had to give her away to a close friend of mine. Fortunately, she's still, close and with me.
Yeah.
And I can still see her and everything. But what I learned after all the crying and sadness is that one, I didn't think I would be that emotionally attached to an animal. Like I can detach from things very quickly. Though I am emotional, I can detach very quickly because I've had to learn to do that. From like transferring schools before to like having to visit my dad long distance. So like I've just always learned to detach from things, and I just didn't think that she would affect me in the way she did. But like I was very, very emotional. I still kind of am about it. I think a big part of that was like ego and like my pride and just like feeling like I wasn't able to care for something or nurture something in that way. And just also just like removing her from a home that she had just started to get accustomed to. So that was difficult. But however, after getting through all of the sadness and that sort of heartbreak, I realized how much, and a friend of mine helped me realize how much of a lesson Dream was. Like the fact that I even named her Dream, she was a constant reminder every time I said her name of like why I came out here to Los Angeles, why what I'm supposed to be pursuing, me writing, me doing the things that I said I was going to do and set out to do. And to really just stop running away from success. Like, I feel like I was genuinely running away from things. And I think a lot of times we do that. Like, we'll cloud our brains with like relationship issues or like just other things that don't benefit us just to run away from the things that will greatly benefit us or distract us from those things. And so I think that Dream was a lesson for me in that I am set out here to do something else and to also care for myself. I always go out of my way to care for about everybody else. I'm always a friend that's like checking up on other people to see like how everybody's doing or like, how's your family? How's this? What's going on with your job? Like I'm that friend that's always doing that. And not to say that people don't do that for me, but I'm genuinely that person, and you probably are the same way. So like I think it's a lesson in me like really caring for myself for the first time and only me and being okay with that and knowing that it's okay to just care about myself.
Hmm.
And so yeah, it was just a really big lesson, and that was my revelation for the week of just like, only having a puppy for a week and not being so hard on myself for or not feeling like I gave up on something necessarily, because obviously like I didn't want to be itchy and taking medicine because I already don't take medicine. So I didn't want to go about it that way just for the sake of having a puppy and just for the
Right.
sake of like raising something and nurturing something, when I need to be raising myself and nurturing myself and pouring into myself. And I had started the month, my birthday month, with like, and now we're coming to a close on the month and like the end of, Lent and all the things that, if you were fasting with us or fasting with the Lord. Um,
I was not.
I was. I
I was
mean, barely, but like I would. Well, for the most part, I did a pretty good job. So, um, I say all that to say is like, as we're coming to a close, I started the month of like really caring for myself, got myself a massage, a facial, all these things for my birthday. And but then just being sporadic and then a little impulsive in ways, I went out and wanted to care for something else, and it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with wanting to be nurturing to something else or someone else, but just always taking care of ourselves and like pouring into the things that and the ideas that we said that we were going to do, and not running away from success. I think that's the biggest thing, like not running away from happiness or joy or love or self-love. You know what I mean? Like we run away from those things and run towards things that are not necessarily for us in that moment. So that's my revelation. I hope that helps somebody out there who may be dealing with something similar, or you can apply it to something similar, because yeah, it really helped me. Yeah. But hey girlfriends.
Hey, girlfriend.
Hey girlfriend.
Real quick thing. I want you to stop saying that it was an impulsive decision because it was not. You thought about that a lot. We talked about that a lot. Sometimes, and that was out of your control. Shit, you can't help that you was allergic. Who want to be buying Claritin all the time? That shit is expensive. Okay.
Facts. And I'm immune to Claritin at this point. I don't even think
Well,
it would really help.
Claritin, whatever, Zyrtec, all the things that the girls be coming up with. Child, you did not go into that decision lightly. If that's the case, you would have had a dog months ago. Okay. So no, it was not. I feel like you saying, it is an impulsive decision is another way of you trying to like beat yourself up about it. And no, that wasn't the case. And also sometimes great things come from impulsive decisions. You
Yeah.
know, I think we put this negative connotation on impulsivity sometimes. Sometimes it
Yeah.
works, sometimes it doesn't. There's no risk, or there's no reward without any risk.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, a friend of mine spoke about impulsive impulsivity, and
mhm,
she said, what if impulsiveness is simply a form of self-certainty? And I really believe in that too. Like I am very certain, and you're right. Like I don't necessarily need to say it in a negative. I wasn't really trying to refer to it in a negative connotation,
mm,
but like at the same time, like I tend to be very impulsive. Like I tend to be like, okay, this is what I want, even if I have thought about it for a minute. And I know impulse is like doing it right away, but like I tend to kind of just rush into things sometimes, when it feels right at the moment. And I, felt that Dream was right at the moment. And I do feel like it was a blessing to my friend. Like she
yeah,
needed her more than I did. And so, like I said, also, I felt like I'm leaning into my spirit and my intuition a lot more because my spirit told me to get her. And obviously that was for my friend. And then my intuition told me to let her go. And
yeah,
that was also, like I had kept, because I was thinking about it for a while. Obviously, only had her for a week, but like for those few days when I started to itch after she licked me in
mhm,
every single place, I'm like, okay, you sis, you gotta make
yeah,
a conscious decision here that's gonna. And a lot of my friends, you included, were just really very supportive in that decision with me. And I just appreciate y'all, and I just thank y'all for like getting seeing me through that, and also just like being there to let me know and reassure me that it's okay to like choose you.
yeah,
And I think I have a really difficult time choosing myself. I've talked about this the last
mhm,
5 years. So, but I finally feel like I'm coming to that. And I also realized, like, I was talking to one of my homegirls out here about your solar return and all that, or Saturn return and all that,
mhm,
and that how that happens between the ages of 28 and 30.
mhm,
And we're kind of in that we're in that age range now, and I think that this is a great time to tap in. Like, so if things are going really chaotic in your life, then that's a indicator that you need to get your shit together before the end of your Saturn return. Whereas if things are pretty aligned, which they are, I feel like for the both of us, like you have new blessings, I have new blessings, new homes, new jobs, new opportunities. Finally, both in a place where we are, able to focus on the things that we truly enjoy.
Mhm.
And that's the indication that we're on the right path and that these things will align itself. And by 30, we're gonna be up, you know what I'm saying, at the Oscars. Like,
It's
what's
so
up?
crazy because people really like, 30 and da 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 da. And I listen, I'm not even gonna sit up here and get on my high horse because I will definitely behavior wise, I will down a bitch for being 30. I'm like, bitch, you 30. Stop acting like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's about it. I do not fear getting older. I definitely don't fear being 30. I look forward to it. I honestly can't wait. My 20s, it's funny because there's this like whole series on TikTok right now about how somebody will be like, "Yeah, I'm 24 and I'm just quarantining at my parents' house, like just, playing Call of Duty or just doing whatever the fuck." And they're like, "Yeah, but my friend who's also 24, they just fucking, interview Michelle Obama or something like that." Like your 20s is such a weird time because you have people who are just like at peak
Excelling.
and
Mm-hmm.
excelling, and then you have or reaching their peak, and you have people who are still learning and growing, like and just on that journey. And so I just look at my 30s as me being like there. Like Issa Rae is 36. Awkward Black Girl just turned 10. That means she didn't start this shit until she was 26 years old. And it took her 10 years. And everybody's like, "Oh, it's such an overnight." That was not overnight. That took time. But you can't
Mm-hmm.
tell me that Issa Rae has not had a good ass time
Mm-hmm.
in her late 20s and 30s. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot tell me. I see. I'm waiting. I want my boat. I want my yacht shit invite. Okay, in
Right.
my 30s, like I'm trying to be on the yacht kicking shit with Issa Rae and all the
Facts.
other. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't look at my 30s as a punishment. I don't look at my 40s as one. Like I just think we get so bogged down by age, and we really just need to start worrying about living life because none of this shit is really promised, and
Mm-mm.
we can't. And I was talking about. I saw this on Twitter today where it was a clip of Donnie McClurkin.
I
And
saw
he,
that.
and he was talking about how he felt like he was going to be alone forever. And mind you, the title in the video is so funny because you could tell when people aren't journalists because y'all really try and fit the whole story in the headline, and that's really not what you're supposed to do. But that's neither here nor there. Um, he said Donnie McClurkin, who says he was delivered from homosexuality, feels he'll be alone for the rest of his life because he doesn't know what a woman wants. And I don't know Donnie McClurkin, but I do know that nobody can truly be delivered for something that is their truth. And maybe the reason why he doesn't know what a woman wants is because he does not want a woman. And that's fine. And it's sad. It was sad to me to watch that video because I'm like, wow, you really got people out here who, because of the judgments of other people, are not living their lives to the fullest extent and in the way that they want to live it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad.
Mm-hmm.
God is the only judge, or whoever you revere
Subscribe.
in that
Mm-hmm.
way and subscribe to, that person, place, thing, omnipresent being is the only judge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody else is just players, chess pieces. We all just trying to make shit
Pawns.
shake, pawns. We just trying to make shit shake for ourselves. So yeah, no,
Yeah, I love that. And it's kind of similar to the entire Lil Nas X situation. And I know we're going into like what we've been on and all that stuff
yeah,
a little sooner than we would have. But that Montero, Call Him By His Name or whatever it's called, that song
yeah.
brought up a lot of controversy about religion and about, him living in his truth and him making a statement. And I actually like been reflecting on it because of, the fact that I do have young nieces and there are children who is his core audience. And I didn't have to write about it, but I wrote about it. Just, the differences of opinion and how ministers and pastors across the nation are literally preparing sermons about him
Right,
and his choices and the things that he's living his best life. That's the crazy
right,
thing. He's artistically expressing himself
right,
in ways that people were unafraid to do, for many years. And I think he's also one of the biggest internet trolls ever. So it's like he genuinely loves that y'all are just continuously making a sermon around him and his art. Like that's
When
crazy
I
that y'all
tell, I had to follow him again. Because I don't think, yeah, I don't think I ever followed him, but I had to follow
follow
him
him on Twitter. Yeah.
because I was just like, yeah, you handling this amazingly, but you're doing amazing, sweetie. Because he was like, when you saw that tweet where he was like, I've been dressing like a cowboy for the past 2 years. Like you gonna let somebody like this, like I've been gay. I've been on this gay shit. What did y'all expect? I just think at the end of the day, in regards to that, you could not watch the video as much as you want and go on about your business.
Yeah.
It's the one thing, and I think we were already on this train, but especially it's been exacerbated because of the pandemic, where like people are so bored with their own lives, or so dissatisfied with their own lives, that they really find passion in giving their opinion on what other people do. And we all do this. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we all
But
speak on things.
that's what social media frames you to do though. It's like everybody
Exactly.
got a fucking opinion about somebody else's
Exactly.
life.
Exactly. But it's also like everybody got to be mad about something. And it's beginning or it's, I don't even want to say beginning because it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten to a point where this shit is insufferable. Like sometimes I do wish like miss the old days of Twitter where everybody was just trying to get a hashtag popping off, like, and was just,
That's it.
trying to
Simple.
talk to celebrities and I don't know, just cut the shit. You know what I'm saying? Now we got into a place where everything has to be a think piece and everything has to be dissected and all of these things. And it's just like you could very well save yourself the stress by just simply not watching the thing, not engaging with the thing. You know what I'm saying? Today I saw that video of Quavo and Sweetie in the elevator and I said, oh my God, that is a mess. Let me log off. Because what I don't need to see is men trying to justify Quavo actions. You got to protect yourself.
See, and that whole situation, I feel indifferent about because I also feel like Saweetie was wrong. She was snatching at him and grabbing at him too. And there's a lot that can be said about probably what happened before they got on the elevator and him dragging her and moving her. You know, he shouldn't have touched her at all, but at the same time, she was touching on him and she was doing
Mm-hmm.
her wrongs too. And I'm sure there's more to that situation than what meets the eye. I'm not taking up for Quavo, but I also feel like just from meeting him and being around him, I don't think that he's even the type of person that will put his hands on a woman like that. But I also don't know him, just like we don't know any of the people that we're talking
Right.
about. So I don't want to jump and defend him, but I just feel like I just rather not comment on what is going on between them. I think it looked very high school what they were doing with how they were interacting with one another, and I just wish that they go about their way. And I send prayers to both of them that they get over this and that they don't. It's just a lot. It's just like we always are. It's just we've bred a culture that does that, especially when it comes to abuse and especially when it comes to like black love and like couples. Like we saw this couple so elevated and
Mm-hmm.
so happy with one another, then only see them torn down. Or like the same thing with the Jay-Z, Solange, and Beyonce thing in the elevator. Like this couple who is at the highest of the highs, you want to catch them in the worst moment because you can't stand to see. How often do you see white couples, and I know they be beating each other up, how often do you see them in a publication or on TMZ fighting or like any of that stuff? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? All this stuff like really stems from a lot of oppression and a lot of other things, deeply rooted things. And it's like we don't ever see that on the other end, but we always uplift that sort of content from the black community and black love in particular. Like it's almost impossible to see like a successful relationship between two black people in entertainment or in that are
Mm-hmm.
celebrity status. Like you don't see that publicized at all, and it's just unfortunate. I just That's why I just really just be ignoring it. I don't choose to write about it. I'm like grateful that I don't necessarily write for a publication that is eager for us to write about shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because it's just like we don't need to see that over and over. The timeline don't
Yeah.
talk about it enough. Like
Yeah.
they gonna talk about it enough.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't need to see that at all. But it's so many things. Like we get these snippets of an incident and begin to speak on it as if we know everything about the entire situation from that one snippet. And we do that with everything. That don't even have to be about Quavo and Sweetie. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, what shook me and what had me be like, oh, that was fucked up is like she on the floor and he like looked down at her like, and I'm just like, oh damn, you can't help her. You can't help her up. Like she up here limping off the damn elevator. You couldn't lend her a hand. Like it was just either way. And then you got on Twitter talking about, I can't believe you act like that. Like it's toxic, but that's none of my business. It's none of my business. And all we could do is pray for them. And all we could do is pray for everybody's child because everybody going through it. And everybody spends a lot of time on the internet projecting
Exactly.
about shit that is going on in their lives, shit that they are unhappy about. And yeah, clearly I'm just at the point in my life where I'm ready to just delete all this shit. Delete
Delete
all
all that shit.
delete all this shit, Peggy, because I'm tired. I just want to watch TV. Like, and I just want to go back to the days where if you were known, you had to be known for something, for a talent, for an accolade or something like that. And if not, you just lived your life.
Yeah.
You just gotta get back to living life.
Let's get back to being present, honey, being
Mm-hmm.
present and in the moment and, like uplifting positive stories. Okay. Cause I don't mind seeing some positive things on my timeline. I've had enough of all the negative shit. But duality, because, some of the things be entertaining. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Not
some of this shit do
the
be
things we were
funny.
talking about today, but some of the shit do be funny.
Some
So
of this shit do be
neither here
funny.
nor there. Like the Lil Nas X situation was hilarious to me. I thought it was funny to see everybody's think pieces about it, to see pastors preaching about it. I thought it was hilarious, but
And
nonetheless,
it's so crazy because these same people who be talking about, oh my kids are saying, Old Town Road. And the way he came back, it was like, I would talk about drinking lean and cheating on people in that song. If you wanted to let your baby listen to that, that was on you. If you want to let
yeah.
them take
But
that
the
away.
the actuality of the situation is, or the reality of the situation is that Lil Nas X knows that his demographic and is okay with the fact that his demographic is children, and he said that's okay. And he made a children's book about it. C is for country. Like he was
Yeah,
really
he
targeting
can't help
children.
it.
So I'm if you are accepting of the fact that your demographic is children, and then to go on to make a visual where you know that most of your demographic is children, I think it is a little strange. However, I understood his expression. I feel like the video should have been like rate, or I'm sure it is. I didn't really look into the YouTube's ratings or whatever like that, but like it should be rated like kids can't watch this. It can't be like, you know what I mean? Or there has to be some, because at the end of the day, parents, I'm not a parent, but I have a sister who has 3 little girls, and there's things that she cannot avoid them seeing. Just like when we were coming up, there were things that we could not see. Like, you know what I mean? Like we seen, as much as we shouldn't have been watching Nelly's video of him swiping the card down the
I
girl
never saw it.
ass, some cut. I seen it.
I never
I
saw it.
seen it. And that's because there were certain things that my mom just could not protect me
Mhm.
from. You know what I'm saying? There were, I mean, there was South Park episodes about the Satan sleeping with us, what's his name? Not Osama
Saddam
bin Laden,
Hussein.
Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was things like that that they were in a whole relationship like that we saw coming up. So it's not like we were sheltered as kids.
Yeah.
These kids see it 10 times more because there's TikTok, there's
Mm-hmm.
things, there's just, it's almost nearly impossible for a
Yeah.
parent to. So at that point, it's like the parent has to have the conversation. The parent
Yeah.
has to, be involved in ways. And the reality is a lot of parents can't be that involved because they got to work and take care of the kids. So a lot of times the kids is at home and they just see all this shit. So it is, uh, I do feel like partly a responsibility on the artist to at least like if like don't make a children's book if you know that you're not trying to appeal to children.
I mean, but he made a children's book when he was in that Old Town Road era. I think
Well,
at
that
what
came out
point,
earlier this year, right?
right?
C is
Or
for
I
country.
don't know. I didn't even know he had a damn children's book. But I
Yeah,
just
I feel
feel
like
like
that came out earlier this year. And then for you to know that you're about to make this song, because he previewed this song way before it came out,
right.
onto his Twitter and stuff like that. So if you knew that you were kind of leaning towards di- directing your content towards like your audience, your age range, and people older, then like I wouldn't come out with a children's book right now. Like, yeah, that worked. Or maybe you should have came out with it like a couple years ago when Old Town Road first came out in 2018, 2019. But like now it's 2021 and you're just now like, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like that it's interesting to like captivate an audience like that to only feed them things like this. And I'm not even, I think what really took people tried to take the fact that he came out and identified as gay, or you know, that is the reason why people don't fuck with him. But I'm like, that's not why, because people do
No,
the
that
same thing with WAP.
definitely plays a huge part in why a lot of people aren't fucking with this shit.
I think a lot of people
I
aren't fucking with it because it deals with it's Christians. It
it's
deals with
that too,
Satan.
but we
It's the
can't
fact
forget.
that you're riding. If a woman was on the devil, riding the devil, it still would have been a problem. If
No, absolutely. I'm not discounting that. I'm just saying two things can be true at the same time, and him being gay definitely does play a large part in it as well. Think of when he dressed up as Nicki Minaj for Halloween and all the comments that he got about that. You know what I'm saying? Like anything that Lil Nas X does, because he's out and he's proud and he's not going to sit up here and try and like
yeah, but it didn't.
tone
The reason
himself down to pet, to make himself palatable for other people. People are going to have an issue with it. A lot of people homophobia was showing in regards to this, and a lot of
I
people's
I think the reason that sermons were came about was the reason that he even came across people's radars, because people ministers weren't talking about Lil Nas X before that. They weren't talking about their kids listening to Old Town Road before that, or the fact that he came out as gay. Like, yeah, people's had something to say when he came out, but like this got so much attention because he was literally riding the devil. He slid down on a stripper pole to hell. You know what I'm
right.
saying? It
But
was the
also,
the religious aspect of it. I feel like had a woman or anybody else done the same thing, it would have been that would have been the issue, not because of your sexuality as a whole. Like ministers weren't making their sermon. I'm saying my I guess my point of that is like, yeah, people probably of course have a problem because people are homophobic with him, but in regards to this video, it's about him sliding down the strip pole to hell and lap dance, having given a lap dance to the devil. I personally understood because I think people just saw that one clip and went off.
yeah,
Because when I first saw the clip, I was like, this is strange. It's very strange. It's very captivating, but it's very strange. When you see the end of the video, you're like, oh, okay. So like he's trying to like make a point of this, but I don't think anybody was looking at that, just as nobody does on the internet. Nobody does their own research. They
right.
take other people's opinions about things. But I guarantee you that the way that these ministers and these pastors and were making sermons about it is because of the fact that it is satanic. And the shoes like coming out on Air Max Day, National Air Max Day, like with human blood and like all this stuff, like it just was like one thing after another. Then you put a Bible verse on the shoe with the 666 thing on there. It's just like a lot of like, if you're Christian, or you practice Christianity, like that for Christians is what made this a whole thing piece. It made this a whole issue. Neither here nor there.
You know,
That
yeah, that's yeah. But I think at what point do we I don't know. At what point do we allow people to grow? Lil Nas can't babysit people. Lil Nas X can't babysit people kids
I
for the
agree.
entirety of his career. And I respect him for not doing the thing that. And that's the other thing. He's not a child star. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we met Lil Nas X when he was 12 on the Disney Channel, and now
On the
he's
Disney
progressed.
Channel.
And now he's progressing into, this adult role. Like he's
Yeah.
not a Zendaya. We met Lil Nas X when he was 18, 19. We met him as an adult.
Yeah.
This song caught on with the kids. He capitalized off of it, as many people would. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And then he said, okay, I'm ready to move on to the next. And I can respect the fact that it wasn't an ease into the next. It was like a no, this is what I feel like doing right now. And I got a label check behind me. And this is what we gonna do. And it is what it is. I understand that people can't like monitor those things, all the time for their kids. Like I totally get that, because parents are busy as fuck, but parents also got to stop being scared to have difficult conversations with their kids. And so you can't put all of this on Lil Nas. I cannot get this boy name right on the first go. You cannot put all of that on him, and because you too scared to sit down with your child and answer their questions if they have any.
Yeah, I can't really speak on parenting or like being in that position to talk to my kid about it. I do want to be open with my children when that time comes about all of the things, and have those conversations. But I just can't imagine having a conversation with a 4 or 5 year old because they saw something from their sibling on TikTok or on YouTube or whatever about it, and like what
Let me
having to
see.
have that conversation.
Can you block a person on YouTube? Because that's also an option
Well,
too.
I know that you can watch. They can only be they can be restricted to only watch like YouTube Kids or something like
Okay.
that. Like I think there's like a kids version. So there are
Yeah.
options. I'm not
Yeah.
negating that, but at the end of the day, your 5 year old come to you and was like, "Hey, mommy, I saw Lil Nas X on a pole going to hell. Like, didn't you say hell is bad? Why is he going? You know what I mean? Like, what do you tell that 5 year old? Because I know me, if I had seen that the age of 5 or 6, I was very inquisitive. I'm gonna ask them questions, and my mom would probably give me an answer. But we have different parents, and I just it's I'm not blaming Lil Nas X. I just feel like, don't cater your audience to something and then turn around and like put out that immediately after. Because like he was appearing on Elmo's show, like he was
Right.
appearing on a bunch of shit, and so has a lot of other artists.
Exactly.
So have a lot
So
of other artists, but not in like Erica Badu didn't go on Elmo's World while she made that video of her completely nude. Like, you know what I mean? It's timing. It's a lot of things that I feel like are strange about that. And I don't want to sit here and as someone who grew up Christian, I don't want to sit here and be like, that's not strange. It is very strange to me. I feel like that was weird. I'm not judging him. I think that it was a very creative video. And I think that I understood the message once watching the video in its entirety, but I do understand why people have their disdain for it. And I don't think it deserves to be the basis of a sermon. But it is what it is. Like you said, I do think that people have to be mindful of that with all the things that their kids listen to, especially the things that are coming on TikTok. But it's like TikTok in general is literally a platform that is geared towards young kids. Like they love that shit and they sit on there all day. So it's like I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I'm a little indifferent about it. But nonetheless,
um,
shout out to
shout out
him
to Lil
for
Nas X. It was a
for
dope
about to, he
video.
about to get a number 1 on that song.
Exactly. The song, I actually really liked the song. I think all of the hair and makeup and everything that he was doing in there was fire. You know,
He said that
I'm a
his legs were bleeding from this stripper scene. I mean the pole scene.
he did the hell out that pole. Okay.
He
Listen.
said that. He
No
said
pun
I really
intended.
respect
Okay.
he said I really respect strippers after this scene because my
Listen.
legs were literally bleeding afterwards. I was like,
He
damn.
did what the fuck he had to do. And that's why I truly do not give a fuck about how anybody feels about this shit because it's just not that serious. You could turn the TV off. You could block the YouTube. You could delete the YouTube from the iPad. You could put kids' YouTube. There's so many ways for you to get around it. Or you could sit there and say, this is a video that he wanted to make. And heaven is heaven and hell, whatever, however you want to do it. But all of this damn vitriol over a fucking music video, like, my God.
I mean, that was the
Look at
point
me.
though. That's what he wanted. That's what he
Exactly. And
wanted
he
to
getting what you want. That's why he trolling. And I love it.
yeah, that's what he wanted.
All that vitriol over
Nonetheless,
them shoes and they sold out in a minute.
yeah.
A fucking minute. And now Nike
Yeah.
suing the company and they didn't even name Lil Nas X in the lawsuit. He having a good week.
Yeah. Well,
Like
cuz it's
this
not
is
his
not his
doing.
shit. But
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, that same company has been sued by Nike before. Like they
Oh,
keep
really?
doing these like unauthorized
So what are they doing? They're
releases.
just buying the shoes and then like
Yes,
customizing
yes,
them because they did the same with Birkenstock. Apparently, they like customized some Birkenstocks,
yeah,
like
yeah,
bags or something out of Birkenstock sandals. But
yeah.
why is that a crime? Like I bought the shoe from y'all, but they just can't list it as a Nike. I guess Air
Exactly,
Max.
exactly.
Yeah.
And especially in this sense, like I completely understand why Nike, because they were like, well, hold on now, we ain't trying to be like with no satanic shit. Like, don't
Right.
we because what did Nick Young dumbass get on Instagram talking about? I don't even know if I want to wear Nike no more because of these shoes. And I'm sure somebody at Nike was like, nigga, them ain't our damn shit. Like, that's our shoe, but we
Right.
ain't do that.
Right.
It's
I
just
mean, they definitely had to
it's
protect
very funny.
themselves.
It's also very funny to see people get on their soapbox about how horrible and how wild it is while they too do wild, horrible shit in their everyday life. It's like, okay.
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
nah. That's real. Yeah, like you
Get on
said
your
in the
high horse.
beginning.
That's why I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, y'all, everybody want to scream from the mountaintop about some shit. And you doing, shit that people wouldn't agree with either in your regular day.
No, I think what you said in the beginning is like, if you are a believer in Christ, then, who are you to judge? So that, and I included that in my post as well, like, who are you to judge? At the end of the day, nobody's supposed to judge but the God you believe in. So but yeah, next things next. Hey girlfriends, it's Sammy and E back for another episode, or the last episode, as we said before. And yeah, do you have a WCW for
Um, shit, us, nigga. Fuck. Hell you talking about?
period?
Hell you talking about? Me, nigga. Okay.
I'm the
I'm
WCW.
the WCW. She the WCW. Okay. Because we did this shit for a very long time. And there were a lot of moments where we did not want to do this shit. And there were a lot of moments where we wanted to do it and we wanted to be better. You know what I'm saying? Like we have gone through our peaks and valleys. And I think we're coming to a great close. And I think, you know, if it's up, then it's up, then it's up, then it's stuck. Big bands busting out the a bookie bookie boo, like all of
A
that,
pookie pookie poo.
Wah, wah, wah. Okay, like I just we've come very far, and so I'm very proud of
Yeah,
us, and I'm very thankful for all of the girlfriends and guy friends who've listened and helped along the way. So we the WCWs, y'all the WCWs and the MCMs and shit, cause yeah, we fire.
period. I agree. And also shout out to, just everybody who has supported on the back end, from like Doc, who started off with engineering our podcast, to V, who began engineering our podcast later, to us, who started to learn all of the audio things and purchased mics
Yeah,
and went through the transition when I moved, and he, wanted to stick out with me. We went through, some of y'all created Twitch accounts, and we went
yeah,
through a few different things to try to get this together. And ultimately it's led to just, great conversations, great discussions about things, a lot of commentary on a number of things. So just grateful for that. And yeah, shout out to us and shout out to y'all.
yes.
um we've pretty much got into what y'all was on, but if you want to give out any new music recommendations outside of what we discussed, feel free. I
Um,
have been listening to the same few things. Yeah, I can say the few things that I've been listening to if it will come up.
I have.
Um,
So yesterday I was on my way to get food. I was listening to Stevie Wonder because it was a great day for Stevie. Um, as usual, I don't know if y'all have the Apple Music widget on your phone. That should be fucking up because you be pressing it thinking you about to go to Apple Music when it really just want to play whatever shit pops up. First world problems. But either way, I pressed play and it cut off Stevie and I was blown because I was really in the thick of it. Okay. But then it put on this song called Not a Dream by an artist named Gwen Bunn off a project called Safe Travels. And it was a vibe. And I was like, okay, you can interrupt my Stevie moment with this. I'll accept this. This is fine. Um, just I don't know. I like things that just have a good feeling to it. And that's what this song like. The song makes you feel good. So if you want to listen to something that makes you feel good, I highly suggest you do that. I also was very late to Xavier Omar's project from last year. I never got into it. And then I decided to, and I love it. It's called If You Feel. And from top to bottom, I really enjoy it. Some of my favorite songs are the first track, actually, Find Me. Then he has a song, like a twofer, Want and Need, that goes into Surf featuring Masego. Um, and those are two just very dope songs. He performed some of this on his Tiny Desk that just came out a couple of weeks ago. So I highly suggest y'all go check that out. Um, and then yeah, he ended up with Like I Feel featuring Mariba, and that's just great close to a great album. Have we been on here since we talked since Lead the Door Open came out?
Yeah, we
Oh,
talked about that
okay.
already.
Oh, okay.
I thought,
I
but Leave a Door
finally,
Open, Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak, Silk Sonic, obviously really good. They're coming out with a live version on Friday,
I
so
really can't
definitely it's gonna
wait.
be fire.
I can't wait. Very excited. I honestly, like, I listened to the song when it first came out and I was like, this is a good song. And I never listened to it again because everybody was, on it. And I was just like, okay. But it came on the radio the other
Okay.
day. It came on the radio the other day, and so I listened to it again, and I'm just like, damn, this is a damn good song. And so yeah, I'm just listen. If it ain't no musicianship, as Dr. Lee would say, I'm
Here you
really not.
go.
I'm really not too much interested. Like, I'll listen to some shit. I listen to plenty of Future. I listen to plenty of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't know. I just get it. Like how our parents were like, oh, music don't sound the same no more. Like all that stuff. Like I get it now because I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of this
it
shit
don't.
is ass. It don't sound the same. But I'm happy to see good music making a resurgence, and I hope that people continue to support it.
Me too. I agree. I'm pretty sure I already told y'all about this song, Frequency. But if I did not, I'm going to tell you again. It is by Elton Beddoes and Burn Twins featuring Jean Doe, and it is fire. In the hook, he mentions, did I talk about this on the last episode?
Mm-hmm.
No, I
Oh,
did.
well, the one that we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it features Jean Doe, who's dope, and it basically on the chorus it says, I can't wait to get you home
Mm-hmm.
so you can play your favorite song. And then
Mm-hmm.
basically he's like, that's gonna tell me everything I need to know about you. And I think that that is very true because you tell me your favorite song is that of Ace Hood, and I'm gonna judge you. Okay. um yeah, so I am grateful to know that
I really can't believe you did that again.
because it's important, like that really
Yeah,
those things really are telling of
that
who
should
you
have been
are
an
as a
indicator.
person.
And that's no
Those
shade to
things are
H.
telling.
That's no shade to Ace Hood, because him and his wife, they do very beautiful things, and they're doing the
Gorgeous,
yoga
gorgeous,
and just living a very
athletic,
mindful, awesome,
healthy, conscious life.
awesome,
Love
awesome.
it.
But when somebody say their favorite rapper is Ace Hood
Of all time,
of all time, I'm like, really? Of all the niggas, of all the rappers,
of of
of
everybody
all
in
of them,
existence.
like him, her,
I'm the lady in the
them.
courtroom.
Like, did I get that correct? I want to
Did
make
is
sure
that
my
what you said?
notes. I want to make sure my notes is right. You said
Girl,
Ace Hood.
Ace Hood.
Ace Hood. Like what?
I was highly, highly upset, very disappointed.
Mm,
Nonetheless, yeah, that song it talks about that, and I really enjoyed the song. So definitely tap into that. Otherwise, I've been watching George and Jenny on Netflix,
mm-hmm,
and it's a show about a mom and daughter who are pretty close in age because the mom had her really young, and she has her own twisted past, which is catching up to her. You'll see in the first season, while Jenny is just trying to live a normal teenage life. She moved a lot, and she's, going through like the beginning stages of liking guys, having sex, all those things. They're both very dynamic characters, very different characters, and I like just the juxtaposition of the two of them, and like how they play off of one another. And she's also a biracial child. Her dad is black, her mom is white, so
mm-hmm,
like just seeing the struggles of her hair and all those little things
mm-hmm,
that biracial children deal with, and being accepted at a predominantly white school, and them trying to niggify things when it don't
mm,
gotta be that, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I feel like we've all, as even if you aren't mixed race, you've experienced that on the back end when you are around a all white atmosphere, you know what I mean, or environment. So
Child, it's like they think they trying to make you feel comfortable, but it's like, really, you're fucking insulting me.
exactly, you're making
You're
it
you're
worse.
you're
It,
insulting me.
I always remember the time where I interned at this place in New York, and the one of the white guys, he was also an intern. He will always mention like Jay-Z records or Nas records, and like obviously I listen to both Nas and Jay-Z, but like I am not the biggest hip hop, like New York hip hop rap
That's what I'm
connoisseur.
saying.
Like I don't even be on that for real. So like you talking about Blueprint and all that stuff, like yeah, I heard it, but like I'm not gonna have a sit here and have a whole conversation about Blueprint because I genuinely don't care. Like I like
Yeah.
Outcast. Actually, we want to have a conversation about Outcast. We can do that.
Listen, and the thing is, I could probably not. I could speak to Jay-Z's catalog, but like literally up until the Wu-Tang show came on Hulu, I did not know it was that many niggas in Wu-Tang Clan. I knew Method Man, I knew RZA, DZA, I
Right.
knew Ghostface Killer.
I mean, we're Southern, you know what
We
I mean? So
Southern,
it's
child.
like we
Like
wasn't listening
this,
to that.
if
I
it ain't
didn't.
Andre Benjamin and damn Antoine Patton,
I don't know it.
what you want me to do? I don't.
If you're not
Okay.
talking about the Dungeon Family, I don't
Cause
know it.
honestly,
It's DF for life.
it's slap a little bit harder anyway. But that's just me. I
That's neither here
mean,
nor
that's
there.
neither here nor there. Let me stop though, because some of the New York shit really do be going off.
Yeah,
And I
and
be
I
like,
mean
yes.
that's the birth of hip hop and
Right.
all the things. But you
Yeah.
know, we got it and we put a little sauce on
Exactly.
it. Okay,
Exactly. Put a lot of sauce on it
a lot.
because it was real
Because you
dry.
see where it's at right now. So,
Yeah.
but neither here nor
Real
there.
so.
I just think it's interesting when we're always like put in those conversations. But you see that throughout the show, and that's what I've been watching along with Superstore on, which just got its series finale.
Mm-hmm.
So I just started watching it, ironically, but I definitely am looking forward to finishing that. It's a funny ass show, so funny.
I have been watching Station 19. ABC is forcing this show on us with these constant crossovers with Grey's Anatomy, which is a show I hope is coming to a close very soon. Shout out to Ellen Pompeo for collecting a check for laying her ass down and being on a ventilator. I have to salute the hustle. I also just
This
saw,
is the one that you said has been dreaming about the dead folks
yes,
reappearing and stuff like that.
reappearing, child. Like she's literally just like teeter tottering on the edge of the light. They be like, "Yeah, come over here. We got hot dogs." And she like, "Oh, I'm trying, but I can't." And it's like, "Yeah, bitch, you can't because you got kids. You're not supposed to die. Wake your ass up.
You're not supposed to
Um,
die.
wake your ass up. Stop playing with me." But yes, I've been watching Grace, but also Station 19 from the beginning. Boris Kojo could literally just do whatever he wanted.
Oh,
To me, he could have it all. He's on Station 19, and
oh.
he makes it that much better to
Was he the
watch.
one that was in the wig on the Tyler Perry movie?
No, no, baby. Boris Kojo has never subjected himself to that bullshit. That was
Who
Shamar
was it?
Moore.
Shamar
That was
Moore, fine
Shamar
ass.
Moore who put that cornrow wig on for that Tyler Perry
I
movie.
always get them confused, but that's two different people. You're right.
Boris Kojo, I'll never forget our freshman year at Howard, he was the grand marshal for the homecoming
Mm-hmm.
parade, and he was in the stands at the game. And I just remember looking at him like I'm here and he's maybe like here, but like standing. And I'm just looking up at him like, oh my God, I've never been in a situation where somebody who I already knew was finer in real life. I was like, I get it. I understand. I understand why sis had to lock you down during the filming of Soul Food because I would have done the same.
Absolutely.
Um, but yes, I've also been watching Snowfall, which is having a phenomenal season. I'm behind because honestly, Snowfall is so heavy. Sometimes I can't like I'm what maybe I'm like an episode behind. I'm literally scrolling through Hulu to see what I'm watching. I'm 2 episodes behind. And yeah, I can't watch 2 episodes of Snowfall back to back. Like now
Yeah.
that I've caught up, I can't binge it because this shit is a lot.
Yeah, that's why
It's
I
a
haven't
lot.
been able to get into it.
But it's so good. It's so
Yeah.
so good. Shout out, but also fuck you to Chipotle because they had me waiting in line for about an hour at the Chipotlane to get my family's dinner on Saturday night. But I used that time and I watched an episode of Snowfall. So shout out to y'all, but also fuck y'all. Um,
Damn, that's a long ass time to be waiting on some
that's
Chipotle.
a long ass time. And child, do you know the order was wrong? You know the order was wrong.
Of course it was. That's a
Child.
mess. Not you taking that long to make it wrong.
Lord,
No, ma'am.
Poe Madison couldn't even get her little fajita veggies with her make your own quesadilla. She was highly upset.
Um,
Actually, my sister was highly upset. Madison really didn't care. Um, what else have I been watching? Good Trouble on I wanted to say ABC Family Child on Freeform is back
Freeform.
on. I've talked about this show a lot. It's really great, covers a lot of topics, has the writers that I wish Grownish had.
Crying.
Grownish. I've been watching Grownish. Let's talk about Grownish. Um Grownish, honestly, I really enjoyed the episodes this season where Zoe was not there. It seemed like they were going the Denise Huxtable route where I'm like, oh, are we phasing her out? Yes, because she's insufferable. But then she came back, and I was just like, okay, here we go. Um,
Why wasn't she there? Where was she at?
because she dropped out of school to go be a full-time stylist to Joey Badass and also Sweetie, who did a great
Sweetie.
job. She wasn't herself. She was an artist, but she was playing, another artist. And she actually had some really funny moments. And I'm like, I enjoy, I like Sweetie. I think she has bops. Her songs are cute, but I like when Sweetie like shows her personality and, like gets into the acting and just all of that, because yeah, you could tell she's just like a fun person to be around, and it radiates on screen, but she does a very good job of like toning that down and being a bitch if the character calls for it, and that's what she was, and it was great. um but yeah, Grownish, y'all be playing. Y'all play with Ryan Destiny character. I feel like y'all put Ryan Destiny on Grownish to fulfill the dark skinned Black woman
The
quota that
quota.
y'all are missing so desperately. And then y'all got this gorgeous, very talented woman on this show and absolutely did nothing with her character. And I'm just like, why? Like, what? I would have rather y'all just, continue to have the paper bag test at the door of the set if y'all weren't going to do anything with her damn character. But that's neither here
Mm.
nor there. Um, I hope that in the next season maybe that changes. But it's very disappointing because she's a transfer from an HBCU. She does documentary films, and it's like half the time she was barely there, and then they gave her something to do as far as doing this documentary of jazz and Lord, I forget Halle character's name, um on that show of doing this documentary of them trying to go to the Olympics and stuff like that. And so she
Mm-hmm.
like leaves uh with Halle's character, because spoiler alert, Halle's character makes the Olympics but Jazz does not. And so she like leaves with her to document that, and it's just, and it's almost like you forgot she was with Luca because Luca was gone, which I was pleased because I don't like that nigga. I don't like him as a character. Doesn't really seem to be nothing to cry home about as a person in real life. But
I think
yeah,
he's cool.
I don't know. Just will people try to act too cool for school? That's what I'd be like.
But there are people who genuinely just are that, like, very just artsy and just in their own world and in their own head. And I feel like he fulfills that character. Like everybody on that show, I will say, in terms of characteristics, fulfilled a character aside from Ryan Destiny, because I haven't really seen how they've like incorporated her into the show. Um,
Just
but like the core characters, like I feel
mhm,
like you had the guy who was trying to be a scammer and a drug dealer or whatever,
mhm,
and he wasn't necessarily black. That I thought that was interesting.
yeah,
That he was who he was, and then you had the too cool for school artsy ass dude who's just like extra chill all the time and smokes weed and shows up in a robe when your dad's there. Like it's just it was. And then you had the guy that you crushed on who's cute, but the upperclassman and like very educated black guy. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Like I thought that was also interesting, very focused.
That's the one person I do think they did great things with. I think they did great things with Aaron's character this season. You know, I'm sorry. Ooh, I feel like Vincent Rossi because I was gonna. You remember when Mr. Rossi, our old band director, killed that fly in
Oh, it's
midair during the band? No, my mom, she is a farmer. She's gardening and doing all these
I
things.
saw
But
her
that
tomatoes.
her tomatoes look beautiful, and
They did. They look so beautiful.
there's so many of them, and
Oh
like
wow,
it's wild. And she's growing green peppers and cucumbers and all types of shit.
that's
But these
dope.
fucking gnats that are in the house because of all of the growth. I'm tired. I'm ready for us to get on some consistent weather so she could take this shit outside. Um,
Oh, it's inside.
yeah, it's inside because Georgia don't know what they want to do. One day it's 37, one day it's 77. It's too
All over the
much.
place.
All over the damn place. Speaking of Georgia, I don't know her. Who is that? I'm from Atlanta, but I don't know what Georgia is. Not familiar with her. Don't confront me about what the state is doing about certain things, because I don't know what you're talking about. Because I'm from Atlanta and that's just a different world. Brian Kemp, who is that? Never heard of him.
Never heard of them.
Never heard of him. I only know of Stacey Abrams, and she seems to be cool. But I don't know why y'all are surprised about white people doing white people shit, and white people doing whatever they can to reestablish power after they lost a little bit. It's literally in their blood. Um, so yeah, it's America.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
It's America.
Emphasis on KKK.
Yeah, for sure.
well, well.
How
So
to
long.
fly.
Oh.
Oh, so long. Farewell to you, my friends. Goodbye for now.
For now.
Until we meet again. I like that. So long.
Long.
Farewell to
to
you,
you,
my
my
friend.
friend.
Goodbye for
For
now.
now.
Until
Until
we
we
meet
meet again.
again. It's the end of an era. But it's not the
I had to do it.
oh gosh. Oh my goodness.
I was so happy to see them on TikTok, though
That's
she
what
was a
y'all
little
need to
off.
put the baby. She was a little off. She was
She was a little
definitely a little
off
off, but that's okay. She probably ain't saying that in a while.
in a while.
But I'm just saying, my homeboy, he ain't missed no beats on that box.
He did not. He did not.
Okay. Somebody
Okay.
still got it. Y'all better keep up. Okay.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, man, this is not the end. This is a see you later,
Mm-hmm.
not a goodbye. Um, for y'all, because I'm never talking to this bitch again, ever. Like, honestly, this was all fake. We were never really friends. We were just doing this because we were bored and like we really don't like each other. We've actually fought multiple times. I won. And
Oh, Pasha. Oh, Pasha. Cut it out.
what are
What
you
if that was
saying?
Oh, Pasha.
Oh, Pasha. I thought you were saying Oprah Shaw.
Oprah Shaw.
Speaking of
Okay.
Shaw, real quick, if anybody watches Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 2 is gonna be
No.
good
Nobody
as
watches that.
fuck. People do
Why
watch it,
are y'all
and
watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake? Come on.
I'm not gonna feel guilty. I used to call the Housewives franchise my guilty pleasure, but I'm not guilty about this shit no more
You
because you know
shouldn't
what?
be because you're one of 1,000,000,000 bitches that love the show.
And it's
But Salt
great.
Lake City, seriously?
Listen now. They gave way more than I thought that they was gonna give. And it's my first foray into, the White Housewives. Either way, Jen Shaw got wrapped up today. City Girl Shaw, she got arrested for fraud, for big fraud. Okay, lots of fraud, child. She going to jail, and they didn't know nothing about it, child. And she was filming. So season 2 about to be a monster. Um, but yeah, Oprah Shaw, Oprah Shaw,
Oh, for
Oprah
sure.
Shaw, Oprah Shaw.
Um, yeah, no, we actually love each other and we're working on some really amazing things. We're working
Just
on
kidding.
some really amazing things to come. Just wanted, we can't share necessarily what that is, but
Nope.
definitely going to be winning some awards for it. And we're going to be, doing all the things that we said we were going to do from the beginning. If you guys have any opportunities for either one of us, E is so great at what she does with the voiceover acting. She has gotten
Thank
her
you.
demo reel together. So make sure that
Yes.
y'all are contacting her if you ever need some voiceover work or you just need, creative talent because she's all the things. And I am actively working on writing and acting and, just building upon my content. So definitely get in touch with us. You know where you can find us. As always, you can find us on all social media platforms. We're definitely going to keep our Instagram alive because Lay has been doing such a great job of
Of
inspiring
course.
people with our platform and also resharing content from other creators who are girls, our girlfriends who are doing really dope things. So we want to keep that going. It's Girlfriends Pod on Instagram. You can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. Probably going to be the most active on Instagram. So definitely follow us there at Girlfriends Pod. And, I mean, the email still exists. If you just want to say hey or pop in here
Yeah.
and there, we'll be around. It's girlfriendspodcast@gmail.com. And as long as we have the domain, it's there as well. And there
Yep.
are some mugs available. You guys should just go ahead and cop those up before the domain is no longer
Because they
relevant.
really limited it. Am I? Can you hear me? Oh
Uh-huh.
yes. I'm sorry. I forgot I muted myself and unmuted. But
No, yeah.
no, they're really limited edition. And honestly, when those huge things happen and people are gonna be like, oh my God, I got a girlfriend's mug before the girlfriends went big. And then you're gonna be like, damn, I want one. And the only place you're gonna find it is on eBay because it's me selling mine for like $6,000. I'm finna hit a lick on y'all ass.
Same.
Also, I have Clubhouse invites for sale. I heard people are if you're still dumb enough and you want one, or honestly, I'm willing to scam a white person for this. If you know a white person that is really pressed to be on Clubhouse and has money and is willing to pay, I have 5 invites. And they can go ahead and send me their information, or I'll send them my information. I'm trying to get to the bag. I'll break you off something too if it's a referral.
Break me
Voiceovers for
off a piece. Hey, break me
break me
off a
off a
piece
piece of
of
that
that.
funk.
I could live on.
You put that on Netflix. Give me the Steve Harvey show, okay?
Yes, he's actually going to be the host for the verses going down Sunday with Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Isley Brothers.
That is very fitting. That is very
They're all
fitting.
going to come in a fabulous Steve Harvey suit.
Oh,
Hmm.
I hope not.
I
But
hope not.
you know what? With all them people, it makes sense to have a host for something like that. I
Yeah,
think
you
the
have
same
to.
thing needs to be applied to Escaping SWV.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, Neither here nor there. Please continue to follow all the amazing things we, do on social media. Our individual pages are Sammy approved. That's SAMMY approved, like the stamp, because we stamped that per.
Oh, it's
And
sick. And my name or whatever on the social media is E Told You So. That's ETOLDYOU. So hit me
yeah,
up. Like I said, Clubhouse invites for sale, voiceovers for sale. I got fake Gucci bags. You can hit me on the low. I'm just kidding.
stop.
Um I'm just kidding. We only do real shit over here.
Per.
Okay.
I also just, make sure you guys stay tuned for all the amazing things that we have coming up because I do guarantee you these next couple of years are going to go fucking berserk. So
Yeah.
thank y'all for joining us on this amazing journey. We love y'all so much. It's not the end of the road. It's just the end of Girlfriends for now. And who knows what this can pour or this can flourish into in the years to come. So just
Yeah.
definitely be on the watch because we are blessed and blessings will rain down upon
Okay.
us.
In the
Okay?
city and in the fields. Okay. When we come
We're
and when we
blessed
what we finna do?
where we
Go. Okay.
go. Okay?
Bye.
Period. Bye.
Love you guys.
Love y'all.